Hey, I'm Ron Drotos from keyboardimprov.com, and thanks for joining me here with our 13th myth that we're busting. These myths tend to be things that people say you have to do this, or everybody. How could it be everybody? Even with 10 people, statistically, how could all 10 need to do the same thing in order to become a great musician? Well, no, it's very individual. It's about your own style of learning, your lifestyle, how much time you have to practice, and also your own interests, right? Because we want to tap into our interests. This isn't it's not called suffering the piano, it's called playing the piano. We want to play, not just suffer. So today's myth, it's that, and I hear this sometimes, I get a new student and they think they have to memorize everything they play. So, I'm learning something, I knew this song, and I can't go on to the next thing till I memorize this. Well, there's two aspects of this, right? Because it is important to memorize some things, and sometimes people go on in one of those two directions. They never memorize anything, and then they don't develop their memory, and they can't play anything when people ask them to play, or they want to play for friends. Or they memorize everything, but they don't learn enough tunes, because sometimes, you just want to be able to read through stuff, right? I'm learning this Mozart sonata. I don't have to spend 6 months memorizing it before I could go on to another Mozart sonata, right? You learn it, you play it, and then you move on to something else, and you keep coming back to that one whenever you want and opening the book. Beethoven did not teach his students to memorize. Chopin, some of them did, but it wasn't part of the curriculum. Franz Liszt was the first classical pianist, I think, famous one. That he just had a great memory, and then everybody else thought they have to memorize everything. It's been crazy last 160 years, 50 years since Liszt, because it's too much for most people. The successful classical pianists aren't necessarily the best ones. They're the ones who could just memorize stuff and get on Carnegie Hall and play it at however they're feeling. And there's a skill to that, a talent to that. But there's lots of great classical pianists who might be more expressive but don't have that kind of memory to get up there and play the Goldberg variations or Beethoven's Diabelli variation. It's crazy to have to do that at that level all the time. It's the same thing, though, when we're just learning some tunes. So, for instance, if you want to learn something a little complex, like even a complex song by the Eagles or the Beatles that goes through sections, Hotel California or something. It might be enough just to learn it, right? You don't have to memorize it before you then go on to another song. Or if you're learning a Charlie Parker bebop thing like Confirmation, play it. I have that one memorized because I memorized it at some point. But there's other tunes I don't have memorized, and I can still play them. Open the big book and have fun playing them. So don't let this hold you back. Like anything else, you want to use these things as a tool. You want to develop your memory. You want to be able to play and jam with other people. So memorize chord progressions, songs, classical pieces, whatever you want. But don't let it hold you back. You don't have to memorize everything. Just whatever percent you want, 10%, 50%, 2%, 80%, whatever it is, pick it. And then try to stay within that and see how it works, and you can always adjust. But the main thing is to have fun with music and to learn a lot of stuff, because it helps us as musicians. It feeds our musical knowledge and instinct and ability the more we can learn and enjoy it. That's the main thing. So whether you memorize or not, was it to memorize or not to memorize? That is the question. Well, it's a good question, and I invite you to explore both aspects of it, memorizing and not memorizing, and see what you like and how it helps you as a musician. Thanks for being here. Take care.